10 free things to do in Southern California. Let's go. Number 1. Deep in Southern California lies one of its most underrated treasures, Anza-Borrego Desert State Park. Covering over 600,000 acres, it's the largest state park in California, filled with wide-open desert, dramatic canyons, and endless blue skies. Named after explorer Juan Bautista de Anza and the word borrego, meaning bighorn sheep, the park is home to incredible wildlife and stunning natural beauty. Each spring, the desert transforms during the famous wildflower superbloom, when bursts of color paint the sand in vibrant shades of purple, yellow, and pink. It's an experience that feels almost otherworldly. Just outside Borrego Springs, you'll find something unexpected. Over 130 massive metal sculptures by artist Ricardo Breceda. Giant dragons, dinosaurs, and desert beasts rise up from the sand, turning the landscape into a surreal open-air museum. Whether you're hiking slot canyons, stargazing, or just soaking in the silence, Anza-Borrego is a place of raw beauty and total escape. Number 2. Between Victorville and Barstow lies one of Southern California's most unique and beloved roadside attractions, Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch. Now, at first glance, you might just see a forest of metal poles and colorful glass bottles. But stick around, and you'll discover so much more. Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch is more than just recycled art. It's a tribute to creativity, nostalgia, and the spirit of Route 66. The story begins with Elmer Long, the man behind the magic. As a young boy, Elmer would explore the Mojave Desert with his father, collecting glass bottles they found on their adventures. They stored them for years, and eventually, Elmer decided to do something special with them. In the early 2000s, he started crafting what would become a whimsical forest, each tree made of welded metal branches and adorned with colorful glass bottles. The sunlight streaming through the bottles makes the whole place glow, especially during sunrise or sunset. But the beauty of Elmer's creation isn't just in the way it looks, it's in the way it makes you feel. Walking through the ranch, you're surrounded by wind chimes, vintage signs, rusted typewriters, old bicycles, and even some unexpected items like road signs, mannequin parts, and musical instruments. It feels like a museum of forgotten things, objects that once had a life and now tell a new story together. Elmer himself was a huge part of the experience. Until he passed away in 2019, he could often be found outside, ready to chat with visitors from all over the world. He didn't charge admission. He didn't ask for anything. He just wanted to share his passion and make people smile. And that's exactly what he did. In a world that often moves too fast, Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch invites you to slow down. It's a place that captures the eccentric spirit of the Mother Road, reminding us that art doesn't have to be found in galleries and that beauty can come from the most unexpected things. Today, the ranch is lovingly maintained by friends and fans who want to keep Elmer's legacy alive. Visitors continue to stop by, take photos, and leave behind little trinkets as a sign of respect and appreciation. It's become not just a roadside stop, but a kind of pilgrimage for lovers of Americana, folk art, and the quirky charm of Route 66. So, whether you're a local Californian, a road tripper chasing the soul of old highways, or just someone who loves discovering hidden gems, Elmer's Bottle Tree Ranch is one of those rare places that stays with you long after you've left. It's more than just a stop on the map, it's a memory in making. Number 3. Off the beaten path, we take you to a fascinating little pocket of the Mojave Desert, a place you may never have heard of, but once you see it, you'll never forget it. I'm talking about Dublin Gulch, located in Shoshone, California, right along the edge of Death Valley. Now, what makes Dublin Gulch so special isn't flashy attractions or big tourist crowds. It's the kind of place where history feels alive, carved into the land itself. Quite literally, in fact, because Dublin Gulch is a row of hand-dug cave homes carved right into the soft volcanic rock of a desert hillside. These unique dwellings were built in the early 1900s, most likely by Irish immigrants, hence the name Dublin Gulch. The story goes that a group of miners and railroad workers, probably drawn to the area by mining opportunities and the nearby Tonopah and Tidewater Railroad, decided to settle here. But instead of building houses out of wood or stone, they carved them directly into the canyon walls. And why not? The volcanic tuff in the area is soft enough to dig through, yet sturdy enough to hold its shape. The result? A series of cave-like homes with front porches, door frames, windows, and even chimneys sticking out of the rock. It's like something out of a Wild West fairy tale, simple, practical, and brilliant in its adaptation to the harsh desert environment. These dugouts offered protection from the extreme temperatures of the region, cool in the scorching summer and warm during the chilly desert nights. It was the original off-grid living. No electricity, no plumbing, just ingenuity, determination, and a whole lot of pickaxe work. Walking along the gulch today, you can still see the remains of these homes. Some have doors and frames still intact. Others are hollowed-out rooms with soot-stained ceilings where fireplaces once burned. Each one tells a quiet story of the people who lived and worked here: miners, prospectors, railroad men, folks who were just trying to make a life out in one of the most rugged parts of California. What's fascinating is how resourceful these early residents were. Many of them worked nearby mines or did odd jobs around Shoshone. They hauled water in by hand, cooked over wood fires, and lived in absolute harmony with the land. Some stayed for years. It wasn't glamorous, but it was a life, and it's a window into an era of resilience where survival meant doing whatever it took with whatever you had. There's even a bit of mystery surrounding who exactly lived there. Local legends say some were outlaws, while others were simply loners looking for peace and quiet. And while the caves have long been abandoned, there's something about them that still feels alive. As you walk through Dublin Gulch, the quiet hum of the desert wind carries with it the echo of pickaxes, laughter, struggle, and determination. Shoshone itself is a tiny town. Blink and you might miss it, but it's packed with charm and history. Founded in 1910 as a railroad town, Shoshone served as a gateway for travelers heading to Death Valley. Even today, it feels like a portal into the past. And just a short walk or drive from the center of town, you'll find Dublin Gulch, tucked into the hillside, waiting to be discovered. Today, the area is preserved as a historical site. It's not roped off or turned into a theme park. It's left beautifully raw. There's a quiet reverence here. Number 4. Imagine a single boulder so massive, it covers over 5,800 square feet and rises 7 stories tall. That's Giant Rock, tucked away in the Mojave Desert near Landers, California. It's not only the largest freestanding boulder in North America, but also one of the most fascinating and mysterious sites in the American Southwest. For thousands of years, Giant Rock was sacred to Native American tribes, including the Chemehuevi and Serrano people. They believed the rock held spiritual power, using it for ceremonies and gatherings. Just standing in its presence today, you can sense why. It radiates a powerful, ancient energy that seems to connect sky, earth, and spirit. In the 1930s, a German immigrant and prospector named Frank Kritzer decided to live beneath the rock, literally. He dug out a small home underneath it, carving rooms into the desert floor to escape the brutal summer heat. Kritzer even built an airstrip nearby, and despite living off the grid, he used solar power and had a radio antenna to stay connected to the world. But in 1942, he died tragically in an explosion, possibly while storing dynamite, during a standoff with authorities. After Kritzer's death, his friend George Van Tassel, a former aviation engineer, took over the site. In 1947, he began hosting UFO conventions at Giant Rock, attracting thousands of people at the height of the UFO craze. Van Tassel claimed he was in contact with extraterrestrials and was even given instructions to build the Integratron, a mysterious, domed structure nearby that he said could rejuvenate cells, extend human life, and even facilitate time travel. While the Integratron was never completed as Van Tassel envisioned, it's still standing today, used for sound baths and meditative experiences. In 2000, something strange happened. Part of Giant Rock suddenly split off, revealing a brilliant white granite interior. No one knows exactly why it cracked, but many believe the rock had reached its physical limit. Others, of course, blame it on otherworldly forces. Today, Giant Rock remains a pilgrimage site for spiritual seekers, UFO enthusiasts, desert explorers, and the curious alike. It's a symbol of the collision between ancient spirituality and modern fringe science, a place where myths, mysteries, and the raw power of nature come together. Number 5. The Big Bear Discovery Center. Nestled along the north shore of Big Bear Lake in Fawnskin, California, the Big Bear Discovery Center stands as a gateway to the natural splendors of the San Bernardino National Forest. Since its establishment in 1998, this center has welcomed over 190,000 visitors annually, offering a blend of education, recreation, and conservation awareness. Operated collaboratively by the U.S. Forest Service and the Southern California Mountains Foundation, the Discovery Center serves as both a visitor information hub and a nature education facility. Its mission is to foster a deeper understanding and appreciation of the forest's ecosystems, encouraging responsible stewardship among all who visit. Inside, guests can explore interactive exhibits that delve into the region's diverse flora and fauna, geology, and cultural history. The center offers a variety of programs, including naturalist-led hikes, eco-tours, and educational workshops tailored for all ages. These initiatives aim to connect individuals with nature, inspiring a commitment to environmental preservation. Beyond its walls, the Discovery Center boasts access to numerous trails suitable for hiking and biking, providing opportunities to experience the forest firsthand. Seasonal events, such as the Music in the Mountains concert series, blend entertainment with environmental education, creating memorable experiences that highlight the importance of conservation. For younger visitors, the Nature Discovery Zone offers an outdoor play area designed to encourage exploration and learning through play. As the first Nature Explore outdoor classroom in the National Forest System, it provides a safe and engaging environment for children to connect with nature. The Big Bear Discovery Center is open Thursday through Monday, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and admission is free. Whether you're seeking information on local trails, interested in participating in educational programs, or simply looking to enjoy the natural beauty of the area, the center serves as an invaluable resource for visitors and locals alike. In summary, the Big Bear Discovery Center is more than just a visitor center. It's a cornerstone for environmental education and a catalyst for community engagement in conservation efforts. By providing accessible resources and immersive experiences, it plays a pivotal role in promoting the sustainable enjoyment of the San Bernardino National Forest. Do yourself a favor and carve out a few extra minutes for the gift shop. Tucked right inside the center, it's more than just a souvenir stop. It's a celebration of the local environment, the mountain lifestyle, and the spirit of discovery. As soon as you walk in, you'll notice it has a warm, welcoming feel. The shelves are stocked with a carefully curated selection of items, many of which are locally made or inspired by the San Bernardino National Forest. You'll find beautiful handcrafted jewelry, mugs, artwork, and cozy apparel, perfect for remembering your trip or gifting to someone special. If you're into reading, there's a great selection of books about the local wildlife, geology, plants, and trails, great for nature lovers or anyone curious about the region. For families, there's a fun variety of educational toys, forest-themed plush animals, and hands-on learning kits that make it easy to spark a child's curiosity about the outdoors. Everything ties back to the Discovery Center's mission to inspire appreciation and stewardship of our public lands. And here's something that makes every purchase feel even more meaningful. Proceeds from the gift shop help fund educational programs, events, and conservation efforts in the area. So whether you're buying a small keepsake or a bundle of gifts, you're directly supporting the care and preservation of this beautiful mountain region. Number 6. CicLAvia. If you've never been to a CicLAvia in Los Angeles, you're missing out on one of the city's most vibrant, people-powered events. Several times a year, LA shuts down miles of major streets, not for cars, but for people. That's right, Bikes, skateboards, strollers, walkers, and runners take over the roads, creating a car-free celebration of community, movement, and open space. Each route highlights a different neighborhood, from downtown to Venice to South LA, giving you a chance to explore the city in a whole new way. There's live music, food trucks, local vendors, and art around every corner, and best of all, it's completely free. CicLAvia isn't just about biking, it's about reimagining how we move through our city and connect with each other. It's LA at its most open, creative, and alive. Number 7. Randsburg. If you've ever driven along Highway 395 in the Mojave Desert, you might have passed it without even realizing. But this tiny town, tucked into the rugged Rand Mountains, has a story that's anything but small. Randsburg is what's known as a living ghost town. That means it's not abandoned like other boom-and-bust mining towns. You'll actually find a few locals still living there, keeping the town's history alive. With a population that hovers around 60 to 70 people, it's quiet, but far from forgotten. Let's rewind to the 1890s. In 1895, prospectors struck gold in the Rand Mountains, and Randsburg was born almost overnight. People poured in by the thousands, miners, merchants, saloon keepers, fortune seekers, turning this patch of desert into a booming gold camp. Within just a few years, Randsburg had saloons, hotels, stores, a school, a church, and even its own opera house. Yes, an opera house in the middle of the Mojave. At its peak, the Rand Mining District, which includes Randsburg, Johannesburg, and Red Mountain, was one of the richest mining areas in Southern California. The Yellow Aster Mine, just outside of town, was especially productive and helped drive the town's economy for decades. But like all gold rushes, the boom eventually slowed. By the mid-1900s, mining operations began to shut down and people moved on. But here's the amazing part. Randsburg never completely died. A few resilient souls stayed. And today, what remains is a fascinating mix of history, desert grit, and quirky charm. Walking through Randsburg today is like stepping back in time. The main street is lined with old wooden buildings, some still in use, others beautifully preserved relics. You'll see faded signs from a century ago, rusty mining equipment lying around like sculpture, and storefronts that look like they're straight out of an old Western movie. One of the absolute highlights is the Randsburg General Store. This place has been in operation for over 100 years and still serves hand-scooped ice cream and root beer floats from its original 1904 soda fountain. Stepping inside feels like entering a time capsule. The wooden floors creak, old photographs line the walls, and the shelves are filled with souvenirs, snacks, and local crafts. If you're lucky, you'll get to chat with the friendly folks who run it. They'll be happy to share stories and maybe even a bit of local lore. Just across the street is the White House Saloon. Yes, that's really its name, and it's exactly what you'd hope for in an Old West-style watering hole. You can grab a cold drink, swap stories with other travelers or locals, and soak up the authentic atmosphere. It's the kind of place where time slows down and conversation comes easy. The Rand Desert Museum is another must-see. Though it's small, it's packed with mining tools, old photographs, and artifacts from the town's heyday. You'll learn about the Yellow Aster Mine, the narrow-gauge railroads that once served the area, and how life looked in the early 1900s. The volunteers who run the museum are incredibly passionate and often share personal family ties to the town's history. But Randsburg isn't just about the past, it's also a destination for adventure. The surrounding desert is a hot spot for off-roading, especially during the fall, winter, and spring when temperatures are cooler. Hundreds of ATV riders and dirt bikers roll through town on weekends, making it a lively hub of activity. And for many, Randsburg is the go-to stop for fuel, food, and fun while exploring the vast open trails of the Mojave. If you're into events, try to plan your visit around Randsburg Old West Days, usually held in the fall. The town comes alive with cowboy reenactors, live music, vendors, and even gold panning demonstrations. It's one of the best times to see Randsburg in full swing, with families, history buffs, and travelers from all over gathering to celebrate the town's Wild West heritage. Now, don't expect a polished tourist town. That's not Randsburg's vibe. It's rough around the edges, in the best possible way. There's no stoplight. Cell service can be spotty. And you might run into a few curious ravens or desert critters wandering near the buildings. But that's exactly what gives Randsburg its soul. It's real. It's raw. It hasn't been overly commercialized. And every weathered plank and rusty nail tells a story. What I personally love about Randsburg is that it offers something you don't often find in our fast-paced world, a genuine connection to the past. It reminds us that people once lived, worked, dreamed, and struggled in these remote corners of California. Number 8. Blackbird Air Park, located in Palmdale, just outside the gates of Edwards Air Force Base and Lockheed's legendary Plant 42. At first glance, it might not look like much, just a handful of planes in the middle of the desert. But take a closer look, and you'll realize you're standing among giants, literally. This is the only place in the world where you can see the entire Blackbird family up close and in one place. These aircraft weren't just fast. They were record-breaking, secretive, and decades ahead of their time. The crown jewel of the airpark is the SR-71 Blackbird. Designed by Lockheed's top-secret Skunk Works division, the SR-71 could fly over 85,000 feet in the air at speeds over 2,200 miles per hour. That's more than Mach 3. It was built during the Cold War, not to fight but to spy. Its job was to fly high and fast, taking photographs and gathering intelligence from enemy territories, without ever being caught. To this day, no aircraft has matched its speed and altitude performance. Standing next to it is like standing next to a piece of science fiction. The sleek black design, the futuristic angles, and the massive jet engines give off a powerful, almost otherworldly presence. It's not just a plane, it's a marvel of engineering and a symbol of Cold War-era innovation. But the SR-71 wasn't the beginning. Next to it, you'll find its predecessor, the A-12. This was the original spy plane developed for the CIA, and it was actually faster and lighter than the SR-71. Only a handful were ever built, and their missions remained classified for decades. The A-12 flew some of the riskiest surveillance missions of the 1960s, gathering intelligence that shaped global politics, all while flying so high and so fast that no enemy missile could touch it. And then there's the D-21 drone, a supersonic unmanned aircraft developed in the 1960s. Yes, even back then, engineers were already designing autonomous spy planes. The D-21 was actually launched from the back of a modified A-12 in midair, flew its mission, and returned valuable data. Unfortunately, the program was short-lived due to some early failures, but it paved the way for the drone technology we rely on today. The gift shop at Blackbird Airpark offers a selection of aviation-themed souvenirs, including patches, model planes, and memorabilia celebrating the legendary SR-71 and other aircraft on display. It's a small but meaningful stop for visitors looking to take home a piece of aerospace history. Walking around Blackbird Airpark, you'll quickly realize this isn't your typical museum. It's all outdoors, with the desert wind blowing and the mountains in the distance. You can walk right up to the aircraft. No ropes, no glass, just you and some of the most advanced machines ever built. It feels raw, real, and powerful. Even the paint tells a story. These planes are covered in a special black radar-absorbing material that help reduce their radar signature, one of the earliest forms of stealth technology. And because they flew so fast, the friction of the air actually heated the surface of the plane, sometimes over 600 degrees Fahrenheit. These aircraft would expand several inches in length during flight, and when parked on the ground, they often leaked fuel until everything sealed up midair. You'll also find volunteers and docents on site, many of whom are veterans, engineers, or aviation experts who worked on these programs. They love sharing personal stories and technical insights you won't find on the signs. Their passion brings these machines to life, turning your visit into something far more immersive than just looking at aircraft. The park also includes the U-2 Dragon Lady, another high-altitude reconnaissance plane that's still in service today. And there are other test aircraft and support planes on display, helping paint a fuller picture of the Air Force's evolution in the jet age. What makes Blackbird Airpark especially meaningful is where it's located. Just a stone's throw away is Plant 42, where many of these aircraft were designed, assembled, and tested. This stretch of desert was, and still is, home to some of the most top-secret and advanced aerospace projects in the world. In fact, if you time your visit just right, you might even catch a glimpse of a stealth bomber or experimental aircraft flying overhead. It's one of the only places where past, present, and future aviation history literally intersect. And here's the best part. Admission is free. That's right. You can walk among aviation legends, talk to real experts, and experience a truly unique piece of American history without spending a dime. Of course, donations are always welcome, and they go toward preserving the aircraft and expanding the museum's outreach. Number 9. Salvation Mountain. If you've ever driven through the California desert near the Salton Sea, you might have come across something truly unexpected, a towering, brightly colored mountain covered in flowers, Bible verses, and bold messages of love. This is Salvation Mountain, and it's not just art, it's a labor of faith, a desert landmark, and a one-of-a-kind spiritual message baked in the sun. Salvation Mountain was created by one man, Leonard Knight. He started building it in the 1980s using adobe clay, hay bales, and thousands of gallons of donated paint. For nearly 30 years, Leonard poured his heart into this project, determined to share a simple but powerful message with the world. God is love. That message is written in bold red letters across the mountain, and it's surrounded by vivid murals, colorful domes, and hand-painted scriptures. The mountain stands about 50 feet tall and 150 feet wide, and walking around it feels like stepping into a dream, a surreal blend of folk art, faith, and imagination. There's even a small cave-like area inside, known as the museum, where sunlight streams through cutouts and every surface is painted in joyful color. Whether you're religious or not, Salvation Mountain is moving. It's a symbol of dedication, creativity, and belief in something greater. Number 10. And last but not least, Rainbow Basin. Located just outside of Barstow, in the heart of the Mojave Desert, this unique spot offers a glimpse into the ancient history of the Earth, with colorful rock formations, rare fossils, and an overall experience that's nothing short of breathtaking. Rainbow Basin is part of the Mojave National Preserve, an area that's famous for its stark desert beauty, but what sets Rainbow Basin apart is its incredible geological features. The basin is a folded basin of layered rock, and as you approach, you'll immediately notice the vibrant array of colors, from deep reds to pale yellows and purples. It's as if the earth itself has been painted. The unique geological process that created these colors is tied to millions of years of history contained in the rocks. These striking hues come from different layers of sedimentary rock, which were deposited over millions of years and then tilted and folded by tectonic forces. The result is a rainbow of colors that gives the basin its name. But what really makes this area fascinating is the way these colors and layers tell the story of the Earth's past. Rainbow Basin is part of a region called the Barstow Formation, which dates back to about 10 to 20 million years ago. The layers of rock you see today were once part of ancient lakes, rivers, and floodplains that existed during a time when the area was much more lush and water-rich than it is today. Over time, tectonic forces pushed these sediment layers upward, creating the dramatic folds you can see today. These geological formations offer a visual record of the changing climate and landscape over millions of years. When you look closely at the patterns in the rocks, you can almost read the story of the Earth's transformation from lush, water-rich environments to the arid desert that exists today. For those interested in paleontology, Rainbow Basin is also significant because of the fossils that have been discovered here. It's known as a fossil hotspot, with significant finds of prehistoric creatures from the Miocene epoch, a time when the landscape looked very different. Fossils of ancient animals, such as mastodons, saber-toothed cats, and camel-like creatures, have been unearthed in the area. In fact, the surrounding region has been a popular site for fossil hunters and researchers for decades, and it's still one of the best places in the Mojave Desert to learn about ancient life. If you're lucky enough, you may even spot fossilized bones sticking out of the rocks or find small fragments of prehistoric creatures hidden in the gravel. But Rainbow Basin isn't just about geology and fossils. The basin is a living landscape that continues to evolve, and it offers a rare opportunity to see a desert ecosystem at work. The area is home to a variety of desert plants and wildlife that have adapted to the harsh Mojave conditions. Creosote bushes, Joshua trees, and desert wildflowers bloom here, depending on the season, and you might even spot some desert wildlife like bighorn sheep, wild burros, or desert cottontail rabbits. In springtime, after rains, the desert comes alive with color as wildflowers bloom, offering an entirely different view of the basin. The contrast of these delicate flowers against the dry desert landscape is stunning and highlights the delicate balance of life in this harsh environment. One of the best ways to experience Rainbow Basin is by walking along its trail system. There are several short trails that will take you through the basin, offering up-close views of the colorful rock formations. The Rainbow Basin Loop, for example, is a 3-mile round-trip trail that winds through some of the most stunning parts of the basin. As you hike, you'll be able to appreciate the scale and texture of the rocks, the vibrant colors of the earth, and the quiet beauty of the desert. The silence here is profound. It's a place where you can really feel the connection between the past and present. The basin is not heavily trafficked, so you can often find yourself alone in the vastness, immersed in the beauty of the surroundings. For those looking for a more immersive experience, camping is also an option. The Rainbow Basin Campground is a small, peaceful site located near the basin. There are no modern amenities here, but the beauty of the desert surroundings more than makes up for it. It's a place to disconnect, spend a night under the stars, and wake up to the beauty of the Mojave Desert in its purest form. Camping here also offers the chance to see the desert's wildlife in its natural habitat at dawn or dusk, when the animals are most active. Watching the sunrise over the colorful rock formations or the stars overhead at night can be a transformative experience. If you're an avid photographer, it's the perfect time to capture the desert landscape in a new light. In addition to hiking and camping, Rainbow Basin is also a great spot for photography. The contrast of the colorful rock formations against the barren desert sky provides endless opportunities for striking photographs. Sunrise and sunset are the best times for photography, as the changing light brings out the rich colors of the rocks, making them seem to glow in the early morning light or in the warm evening glow. It's a photographer's dream, with landscapes that look like something out of a dream or a painting. The natural lighting at these times really emphasizes the beauty of the colors and textures of the rocks, making each shot more vibrant. If you're planning to visit Rainbow Basin, the best time to go is in the spring and fall, when temperatures are cooler and the desert flowers are in bloom. Summer temperatures can be extreme, with daytime highs regularly topping 100 degrees, so be sure to bring plenty of water, sunscreen, and appropriate clothing if you choose to visit during warmer months. The area is accessible year-round, though, and it's always a peaceful place to visit, with fewer crowds than other more popular destinations in California. The quiet of the desert offers an unmatched sense of peace, allowing you to experience nature in its rawest form. To get to Rainbow Basin, you'll need to take a short drive on a dirt road from the Coon Hollow Road exit off of I-15, just outside of Barstow. While the road is dirt, it's passable for most vehicles, though it's always a good idea to check road conditions before you go. The area is remote, and there are no services nearby, so be sure to bring everything you need for your visit, including plenty of water, food, and a full tank of gas. Remember, while it's a natural wonder, the desert is still a challenging environment, so preparation is key. Rainbow Basin is one of those special places in the California desert that's both geologically and culturally significant. Whether you're drawn to it for the geological formations, the prehistoric fossils, or just the sheer beauty of the desert landscape, it's a place that will leave a lasting impression. It's a reminder of how vast and ancient our planet is, and how the forces of nature continue to shape and reshape the world around us. So if you're looking for a peaceful, awe-inspiring destination off the beaten path, Rainbow Basin is a must-see. Well, there you have it. 10 free things to do in Southern California. We hope that you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.